Alright, I am back from lunch. Let me throw you all on window. We're gonna make a few changes, and I'll explain to you when we get in here. I have Mammoth Mill using wood chips and producing wood chips as a byproduct. When the wood chips are full, the Mammoth Mill shuts down because it won't put them from the output back to the input. So we have to make a slight change to the Mammoth Mill. So it cannot use it can't use and make wood chips. So we're going to take care of that here in a second. But I want to take care of this one floating building first. And then we're going to have to add, I'm going to make a new fill type called sawdust. And we're going to change the mill from making wood chips to making sawdust. Can I pull? I can't. So this whole thing needs to come down. I can't take the grass out because it won't work with an existing save. So let's push these all the way down. Though. Does it get rid of the concrete pad? It does. That looks a little bit better. And then what else do we have over here floating? This guy. I could push that in here. So that's going to be better. So I think that's the only change in the map itself. So let me save this. And then we have to create a new fill type. So let's close the map. Alright, so let's go to fill types. We're going to add wood. We're going to add sawdust. We're also going to need a HUD. Where are they at? Ricci Creek HUDs. We're going to need a new HUD. So it doesn't matter which one I open. Let's open up sand. Now we're going to have to go to good old Google Images. We need a sawdust picture. Let me try sawdust first. Oh, that'll work. We can grab, it almost looks like the sand. We can probably use sawdust. Let's copy that into a new image. Let's take this one and we'll get rid of it. Let's copy, paste it in. So we'll have some sawdust, and then we got to cut the background out. And then we'll file, save as HUD sawdust. So HUD fill sawdust. So we have our new HUD. Let me close Google. We won't need Google anymore. Sassy one, hello again. I am back. So we made a new HUD for sawdust. So fill type XML. Let's find. Let me do a control, find wood chips. Alright, so there's our wood chips. Is it running off? What's it running off of? HUD fill, and then fill plane. Man, we're going to need a fill plane for wood chips. Back to Google in a minute. So I'm going to need to make a HUD. I'm going to need to make a fill plane for wood chips, and that's when I get into texture file format issues. I'm going to have a hard time finding a fill plane for sawdust. Let me jump into the bait. I may not be able to make sawdust right now. I may have to do this off camera because I'm having a hard time with the textures, with the saving them in the correct format. It always throws an error, but I want to see what else we have in the base game. If there's any textures that are close to sawdust. Where am I at? Steam Apps, Common, Farm Sim 22 Data, Fill Planes. Is there anything in here that resembles more of a sawdust? What does the mineral feed look like? We might be able to use the mineral feed for sawdust for temporarily. What is oh, that's sugar cane. I think I'm going to temporarily use mineral feed for our sawdust. Let me go into Ricci Creek, fill planes. Let me grab, let's copy that into here. Oh no, skip. Do we already have mineral feed in here? GHIJKL, and we already have mineral feed in there. So let's do this. Let me control find wood chips again. Alright, so let's take wood chips and copy it. Let's take this guy and we'll drop it down. And let's tell this to be sawdust. Now I don't know if this is going to mess the factory up or not. We'll find out here in a second if it works with an existing save or not. Let's change you to sawdust. Let's change the HUD. I need a correct path for the HUD. Let me go get a custom HUD. So I need a correct path. Just give me one that I've made already. Nails. It's just okay. Let me grab this path. And we need to move it up to sawdust. Now let's move this up to here. And let's change this to sawdust. Let's save that. And then we're going to change the wood chip to, I think it was mineral feed. Mineral, let's change just this one to mineral feed and see what it does. So we're going to go fill planes, mineral feed. Let's save that. I'm going to leave everything else the same. Is there a distance diffuse for mineral feed? There is not. Fill planes distant. Is there a distant diffuse? There's a distance diffuse for wood chips. There's no distance diffuse for mineral feed. I may have to just take wood chips out of the mill as a output product if this doesn't work. Alright, so sawdust, I'm going to leave particle effect in. I'm going to just change the HUD. This may or may not work. I'm just experimenting now. So we have sawdust up there. I have to add sawdust down here to bulk. Never back down. Hey Richie, how's it going? Running into a slight glitch with the Mammoth Mill because I have Mammoth Mill using wood chips and making wood chips, and it's not putting it back in from the output to the input. So the mill is shutting down. So we have to take wood chips out as an output. But I'm hoping I can make a sawdust, but I don't know if it's going to work. So let me take bulk. Let me just go to the end. All right, I'm going to add sawdust in here for a minute. So let's save that. And if this doesn't work, we'll just remove sawdust from completely. I'm going to just add it to bulk right now, and if it works, I'll add it to the rest of the categories that it belongs in, if sawdust will even work. So we have our fill planes done. I don't think I need it anywhere else. Let me make a backup folder. Backup, what's today? 01/19/22. I want to back up, just in case this goes horribly wrong. I want to back up the map. And I want to back up my save game 3. I think it was save game 3, or was it save game 4? Hold on. That might have been my, that may be my, okay, that's my no man's land. I need number 4. Let me delete that. That's my no man's land map. It's save game 4. Let me copy this into here. So I have the backup map and the backup save game in case this goes horribly wrong. So let's go into the mill. Placeables. Mammoth Mill. And then let's change the output from wood chips to sawdust. Now I can make the sawdust look exactly like the wood chips if the other texture doesn't work. So we'll change you to sawdust. Where else do I have wood chips as an output? We need to change you to sawdust. Where else do I have wood chips? We need to take, leave it in a fill trigger. I need to take the output, so it's no longer going to output wood chips, it's going to output sawdust. And then we have to store it as well. So let's store sawdust. Alright, so we have sawdust should be in 3 places now. So we have it stored, we have it as a discharge, and we have it as an output. So this is going to update the mill. I'm going to turn my save game into just a test map, and I'm just going to cheat everything in so we can get the map out, and then I'll make a separate realistic new game save once the map's released. So I'm going to take my save game that we're currently using and just make it a test map, just so we can get the map out through testing and out. Save game 6 I need to delete. Alright, save game 4 was the one that we were just in. I deleted a whole bunch of mods. All the harvesters that were throwing Lua errors I deleted out of my mods folder. Except for the iconic harvester, because I think it has a header in it that I was using. So we'll find out here in a second. Alright, is this going to work with an existing save? I'm going to check the log first before we go any further and see if we have any issues with, see if Sawdust is throwing any errors first of all. Warning. See the Fent Vario. The Fent Vario is still throwing errors by Stevie, so I got to get rid of that mod. The Freezy we still have to fix. The Freezy is still throwing one error. So the snowblowers, we got to fix that. Nope, the class Lexion is still throwing Lua errors. So I got to get rid of that. Yeah, the class Lexion 8000 by Stevie is still throwing Lua errors. Save game 4, not found, Fent Vario. Alright, let's hold on. Let me exit out of here. Let's clean up the mods folder just to get all the Lua errors out to make sure it's not going to mess up our game save. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of... let me come up here. So this is the warning for the Fent Vario by Stevie. Thought I took that out of my mods folder. FS22, Fent, ABCDEF. I don't see that one in my mods folder anymore. Don't know why that one's still showing up as an error. Do I need to refresh that? No. Warning, save game source, store item for sale. Could not be found. Okay, so it's just that was just a warning. This one is throwing all kind of major errors and Luas. So I need to get rid of the class Lexion. That's the one Dixie just sent me, so I'm not going to have a harvester. I'm going to get rid of that one. And see if that cleans up all of these Lua errors. Alright, so no Lua errors with the map itself. Just some bad mods. Alright, let's jump back in here. Never back down, just hosted with one viewer. Thank you so much. Alright, let's jump back in here. I'm going to actually delete save game 6. That's the gate. I was messing around with that with the Pallet Warehouse. Let's jump back in here. Deselect all, select. Let's jump back in here and see what kind of Lua errors we're getting now. Nothing with the map, just some bad mods. So I'm probably going to end up with no harvester, but that's alright. I'm turning this into a test map anyway. I'll do a realistic game save another time. Alright, let's jump back in here. So that gets rid of all the Lua errors with that bad harvester. I still have a warning though for the Fent Vario, but I took that out of my mods folder, so hopefully that warning will go away. Alright, let's go back to the mill. and see if it's now changed from wood chips to sawdust. Or if it's going to corrupt the factory. You're not the mill. This one's the mill. Or do I have a corrupted factory now? So now we have wood chips as an input that went green. I'm not showing, I am showing sawdust as an output. And we can take that and we can tell it now to sell. So we can sell the sawdust it makes. So everything I did works with an existing save. Actually, I want to change it back to storing for just a second, because I want to see if it's going to work in a trailer. I'm going to cheat in sawdust just to see if it works. Okay, so I do get a fill plane. So I can think we can make sawdust work. So now that we know sawdust works and it's not going to throw any errors, let's get out of here for a second. You looked at my log and didn't see the harvester and didn't see any. I didn't look at your. Let me look. I can look at the log you sent me. I for some reason I can't use that harvester. It's throwing nothing but errors. I'll find another harvester off camera. All right. So now that we know sawdust is going to work, let's go to the map fill types. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Alright, so we have sawdust in bulk. Where is wood chips? Where else do I have to add sawdust? I have to add sawdust to... I don't need it in a silage trailer. We don't have a train on here, so I don't need to add it to the train. We don't need to add it to a forage wagon. We're not going to shovel it. We do want to store it, so I'm going to add it to farm silo. So let's add sawdust to the farm silo. So we'll store it in the silo. Where else do we have wood chips? Loading vehicle. Yep, we're going to have to add it here as well. And where else do I have wood chips? I think that's everywhere I have to add sawdust. Oh, put it as an input in the composter? That's a good idea. I have to add it to a couple sell points as well. Alright, so we have sawdust everywhere it needs to be in the map now. We have to add it to... we know Mammoth Mill works. Let me close that. We have to add it to a couple of sell points. So let's get back into Ricci Creek. Let's get back into placeables. Selling station generic. Let's add it to... Nope. Selling station... You are Woodworks. Okay, so we have to add it here. So you're going to accept wood chips, you're going to accept straw, you're going to accept sawdust. So we can sell it manually if you don't want to auto sell from the factory. So we have it added into a sell point. Now let's go to placeables, let's go to production, let's pull up the composter. And let's take the composter, we'll copy a production line. And this will be compost 5. You will be sawdust. See, now I know that I can't, this whole thing needs to be fixed. now that I know I can't use an input and an output in the same factory. Where do I need it? I need to add it here, and I need to add it here. So you become sawdust. Let me close that and then save it. And now I got to make a couple more changes. So I need sawdust has to be in 3 areas. It has to be in storage, it has to be in the trigger, and it has to be in the factory. Now, one thing I noticed, I didn't notice this when I made this, we're putting 50% in, we're getting 100% out. Yep, that's exactly how I wanted it. So you'll double your compost by putting the product in. So 50% in, 100% out. So we have it added to the composter. We have it added to the sell points. We have it added to like bulk and loading vehicles and everything we need in the map. Where's my notebook? What else did I want to look at? Took care of the spinnery floating. Oh, the Mammoth Mill, the trigger has to be adjusted. So let's open up the mill. And the info trigger has to be adjusted. Let me create a plane to sit on so I know where the ground is. And now let's look at the info trigger. Where's the info trigger hiding? Right here. Oh, yeah, that's way too small. And it's in the wrong spot. So let's pull this over here. So you'll be able to see the factory stats when you walk up to it. Where's the player trigger? All right, yeah, when you walk up to the player trigger now, you'll see the info stats. Let's get rid of the plane. And let's save that. All right, spinnery's done. Cross it off my list. Mammoth Mill info trigger is off my list. And that's all I've got so far. So let's close that. Let's jump. Make sure I have all my... So you're saved and closed. We're good. Let's jump back in game. Yeah, I may have a mod conflict with the harvesters, and I don't know what it's conflicting with. But right now I don't have a harvester, so I'm gonna have to just use an in-game one for now. But we've tested some harvesting contracts, so I shouldn't need to test any more of those. Let's jump out here one more time and make sure our log is error-free. Just the one warning, that's a mod. Alright, so the map is still error-free. Alright, so let's head back here for a second. Grab my speed mod. Alright, so we should now have... So let's change sawdust to distributing, and it should go to the composter now. So you see now I have the info trigger. So let's change sawdust to distributing, and it's going to go to the composter, which we should have down. So let's jump over here a second. We should have a composter over here now. So yep, it's going to accept sawdust and it's going to turn it into compost. So let's take the compost and change it to distributing so it can go directly to the Earthworm Factory to make earthworms. But now we do not have a factory making wood chips as an output. Or do we? The mill, hold on. Not Mammoth, Carpentry Mill. Carpentry Mill is making wood chips, so let's take you from storing to distributing so you can go directly to the composter as well. Did I activate the compost? We'll check here in a second. So let's take the Carpentry Mill, tell the wood chips to distribute so they go to the composter. So we come up to the composter. Let me just close this and just jump back in here. It's quicker. So the composter is active. No, it's not. Activate. So right now we only have sawdust. Wood chips. Let's activate. Where's that one? Wood chips. Let's activate that one. So we should get some wood chips from the Carpentry Mill. We should get some sawdust from Mammoth Mill. And that should start making us some compost. So that should be fine. Grass dryer's not running yet because we didn't cut any grass. Now what we can do also is, well, this one's tricky. This one's making fertilizer, but I also need fertilizer for, we need fertilizer to make seeds with, and we need fertilizer for our own seeders and sprayers. So I'm going to tell this to store, and I'm going to move my fertilizer manually. Alright, so that should take care of that. I'm going to hit the backspace button and take my growth up one more stage with the Grow Now mod. So all of our crops should go to the next growth stage. Alright, so let's get a couple more things. Let's grab, where's this guy? Let's grab this guy. So I want to turn the silt mine on, and I want to turn the ore mine on. So let's grab some water. And I want to put the Pallet Warehouse down and see if we can make that work. So this is going to be, unfortunately this is going to be more of a cheat map now, but that's fine. It'll be my test map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some extra cash in here so we have it. This way we can do what we want and get this map out of testing quicker. I'm going to buy this farmland here so I can put more factories down. I'm just going to buy this one so we can fill this area with factories for testing. So let's get the silt mine up and running so the silt can go directly to the fertilizer factory. This might be a little tricky. Can I get back here without drowning my truck? I can. Alright. So let's buy this. Let's throw some water in it. It won't have any diesel yet because we've got to adjust the production rates on the refinery. Alright, so let's make sure this one active. It went active, so let's take the silt and change it to distribute and distribute. So the silt will go to the fertilizer factory. That's the only one using it right now. And the clean fill will go to Earthworm Factory because that's the only one using it right now. And it doesn't have any, what does it need? Diesel. So it should pull diesel in from the refinery. Now, can we get back out of here? No! Come back up on your wheels. Oh, that was a nice save. Let's grab another little water. I want to do the same thing with the ore mine. Let's do the same thing with the ore mine. Well, I get the ore to feed directly into Mammoth Mill. And then I want to go back and change sawdust. I want to make sure I'm not selling the sawdust. I want to make sure that went to distribute. I can't remember what I set it at. I'm not going to turn the sand mine on yet because we don't have any factory for it until I build the cement factory. So let's do the same thing. Let's sneak back here. And let's buy the factory. And then we can unload the water. Now we'll change this so it's activated. So let's take the ore and tell it to distribute, and the clean fill will also. And then it needs diesel, so let's go look at that whole mess. I may have to put a second Mammoth Mill down making drill pipe, and another oil well and another refinery. Or we're not going to have enough diesel. Well, we are, but only because I'm getting like every single factory up and running at the same time. But in a realistic play, you're not going to get 10 factories running at the same time. My only concern is the Mammoth Mill going to make enough drill pipe to keep? Is one Mammoth Mill going to keep up with 2 oil wells and make enough drill pipe? That is the question. You have coal, you have drill pipe, you are making crude oil. You have coal, you have drill pipe, you are making crude oil. Alright, so you do have crude oil, you are making diesel, and you are distributing it, you are making plastic, and so we just have to wait and see. Now we just need time to see if this whole thing is going to work as it should. And I lost my truck again. Here we are. You are, so you're getting stone. I manually put water and diesel in here, so this is not a true test, but you are getting stone. And the only thing I have it making right now is lime. This one we did not manually feed. Actually, I did manually feed it. So it's distributing stone. This one I manually fed. It's distributing stone. Alright, let's go back here now. What do I have turned off here yet? I have boxes turned off because we have no use for them. Resin, I don't have a use for yet, so we're just going to store it. It's selling steel. I don't have a use for steel yet. Boxes are turned off, so let's take care of everything else is on distributing. Let's throw the new Pallet Warehouse down. It's not 100%. It's not 100% because I have to adjust triggers. But let's grab construction. I hope I activated it. Production. It should be in here. Unless I put it under silos. Oh, it may be classified as a silo. We may have to go back in and reclassify it. Let's hold on. I want to look at something. Let's save this. Let me look at something first. Let's do a save. I need to see what I need to make sure the Pallet Factory is a factory and not a silo. Alright, so let's look at pallet storage. Let's look at that XML. And then I want to look at let's go back into placeables. I'm going to look at Mammoth Mill, the pallet storage. Let me scroll up to the top. Alright, so Mammoth Mill is classified as species placeable. Pallet storage, species is placeable. Category silo, category, we have to change it to production point. Let's change pallet storage to production points. And then it's placeable production factory. Placeable, no, production. Production has to go under category. And then tab has to be factories. Let's change that to this. So we have everything matching. Species is placeable. Placeable production points. Placeable production points. Placeable production factory. Placeable production factory. Because this should be classified as a production point and not a silo. So let me grab, that's my mods folder. I'm going to put that on this side. So that's my mods folder. Let's delete this copy. Let's zip it back up. Oh crap, hold on. I should have saved that. Oh, I have it in Mega in case I need it. Because I sent a copy to Dixie. So it's saved to the cloud. Let's back this back up. Or zip this back up. So let's copy, paste. Let's jump back in game and see if we can get this to work as a production point. Save game 4. And let's jump back in here. Let's go back to, let's go back here. Let's grab a little bit of speed. Now let's put down, let's grab the new Pallet Warehouse. It should now be under production. Pallet storage. Okay, hold on. Let me turn my camera around. Let me spin this guy around. And let's put him here. Oh, I had the triggers on the front side to begin with. I just put it in backwards. That's alright, it's all good. Alright, so it's telling me that there are no active productions. So this is going to hold every single pallet in the map. So there's a couple things I want to do to test this. Let's tell this now to make boxes. Since I have them turned off. So let's take boxes, let's activate it. Let's tell boxes to distribute. And we'll see if they automatically go to the warehouse. What else? Let's take steel instead of sell it. Because I think steel gets stored. Yeah, steel gets, let's change that to distribute. I want to see if it goes into the warehouse. So now we just need to wait. I don't want to, and then I'm going to manually move these over to see if the trigger works. But I don't want to manually move them over there yet to see if the product's going to come directly into the warehouse, which we're going to have to give it a little bit of time. But it should now accept steel. Let's activate steel. Oh, there's no option here to tell it to go to another factory. So we're not going to be able to use this as a distribution center. It's only going to be storage. I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to have to mess around with this off camera. Same thing with the boxes. So boxes I cannot change. We can activate it, but I can't tell it to distribute. So it's acting as a silo and not a factory. Oh, hold on, outgoing. I was on the wrong one. I was on input. So let's look at steel. Oh, yeah, see, I can tell it to store it, or I can tell it to distribute it, or I can tell it to sell it. So we can use it as a distribution center. Where are our boxes? So I'm going to tell it to store the boxes. I'm going to see if let's see if that whole production chain works. I'm going to check the log real quick to make sure that's not throwing any errors. No, so the map is still completely error-free. So we should, which is awesome now because we can use the Pallet Warehouse as a distribution center. So if, let's say, the Earthworm Factories, let's use fish processing. So fish processing uses ice cubes. So if the fish production factory is not running, but our ice house is still running, and it's full, instead of sending them to the fish processing because fish processing is not running, it should send them here to the warehouse. If my thinking is correct. So we're going to have to forward time and see if that theory works or not. But it's definitely nice to have this acting as a distribution center. Now we just have to wait for time. Which there's a couple things I'm going to do. So let's make sure we have, the only two things I have feeding in here right now are boxes and steel. Let me just make sure they're both active. Steel's active. Boxes are active. Let's see, let's give it some time and see if it works. So everything here should now be distributing. Oh, come on, give me the trigger. Resin I'm still storing it because we're not using it anywhere else. This should be making crates we're distributing, wood chips we're distributing, pallets we're distributing. Pallets we're not, again, this is going to be another good test because pallets we're not currently using. And let's see if they go into the warehouse. So let's take pallets and activate it. Can we activate all, even though we don't have any other product? Or will it shut itself off because there's no inputs coming in? I need an activate all button. Actually, hold on. I don't want to do that. I only want to do product that we're currently making. We'll test it further when we have the other product. So let me just undo this a second. I just want to take this step by step. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Sunflower oil we're not making, canola oil we're not making, olive oil we're not making. Let's look at pallets. Let's activate pallets, but let's also tell it to distribute. And we'll see if it stores it. So let's change that. We're also making crates. So ice cubes, let's activate. And let's tell ice cubes to distribute. Let's tell plastic to activate, and we'll tell it to distribute. Same thing with sacks. Cornmeal we're not making yet. Drill pipe I'm not going to make. I don't want to touch drill pipe in here yet because I want it to all go to the other factory first. Let's turn on crates, and let's tell crate to distribute. And that's all I want to do here for now. I activate them all, that way I don't forget when I put the products in. That's a good idea. I'm going to do it step by step for testing, and then when I play I'll activate all of them at the same time. But right now I want to test the distribution theory. Alright, let's head over to fishing a second. Alright, so you're still not getting compost. You're getting clean fill, you're still not getting, but we just turned the composter on. So it's not made any earthworms yet. So I'm going to forward time here, I think, and sleep tonight. And we'll check all the factories. You are missing earthworms, so you're not fishing yet. Which is fine. Let's check fish processing. Alright, we're getting no ice cubes yet. But you are getting crates, so that's a good sign. Fish, we don't have fish yet because fishing's not working. Ice cubes. So why is ice cube shut down? Let's jump back over here a minute. So ice cubes, we just got up and running before lunch. It probably hasn't had time to process yet. So ice cubes, you're waiting on sacks, which means Mammoth Mill's waiting on plastic. Yeah, you have plastic. You're starting to make sacks. They just haven't distributed yet. Okay, so now we just need to forward time. Let's go back to the home farm a second. See what our crops look like. I'm going to get ready to forward time and sleep the night. So you are growing. I'm going to look at our crops a minute. So they're all growing. Okay, so let me get out of here. I'm going to hit backspace one more time to activate the Grow Now mod. Give the map a minute to catch up. While the map's catching up, I'm going to look at my garage because I don't think I have any harvesters now. I don't. And I don't think I have any more modded harvesters left. I've got the iconic ones, but the iconic ones are also throwing errors. But we'll buy another one just to test it. Alright, so this did go to the next growth stage. Let's check our map again. So that went to the last growth stage. I'm going to hit the backspace button one more time. So it takes it up one more growth stage. Give it the map a minute or two to catch up. Perfect. So we have one crop ready to harvest. That is in the next to the last growth stage. Our poplar is going to take another day to grow. Let's head back to the farmhouse. But, alright, I'm going to go 360 speed to get us to 1930 so we can sleep. This way it'll also have time for the factories to run and stuff to distribute, and it will check that whole mess after we sleep tonight. So let's go back down to 1 speed. I'm just going to let the map, I'm going to give it a couple minutes just to let the map catch up to the fast forward. And while I'm doing that, what do I have left in the way of headers? I still have the one in here by Stevie. So let's get ourselves another header. And let's get ourselves this other harvester, and then I have to get it out of my mods folder because it's still throwing errors. But let's just use it for now. And then I'll sort my harvesters out off camera. I got to jump on a couple modding sites. Alright, let's sleep tonight. Let's go... Oh, what time do I want to wake up? Let's wake up at 8 o'clock. It'll be light out. So we had some maintenance costs. We had a little bit of production income. Before we get too involved, again, I'm going to check the log again to make sure we're still clean. Lua errors on the class Lexion, so I've got to sort out my harvesters. But nothing with the map. So let's go check the composter really quick. And now I want to harvest our new crops to make sure the new crops are working. So now that we slept the night, you're making compost, you're getting wood chips, you're getting sawdust, you're distributing the compost. So let's look, actually we can pull up this, we can stay in the same menu. Let's look at fish processing, or I mean Earthworm Factory. So if we go to the Earthworm Factory, where's Wonderworm? Wonderworm. You're getting compost, you're getting clean fill, you're distributing earthworms. So if we go to a fishing spot, okay, so we have to activate our fishing spots. So our earthworms are making fish. Now our fish going to fish processing. So you're getting fish, you're getting ice cubes, you're getting crates, and you're selling our products. So the whole distributing is going to work. Let's check the warehouse. Pallet storage. Pallets. Okay, so planks. Oh, let's come down here. So outgoing. You're storing planks. I don't want to store planks. Let's distribute them. Make sure they go to the other factories that need them. Nails, same thing. Let's distribute so they go to the other factory. We don't have a factory using pallets, so it's going to store them. We don't have a factory using steel, so it's going to store it. Let's change that to sell. Ice cubes is distributing, so the extra product's going to come in here. So this is going to act like a distribution center, exactly like I was hoping. Drill pipe, we need to change to distribute. Boxes we're not using, so it's going to store it, but let's change it to distribute just in case. So that's awesome. So the pallet factory is going to act like a distribution center. All right, where is my, before we go there, where is my, give me a tractor. Where's my tractor that has the front loader on it? This one, I think. I want to manually move those couple of pallets to see if the triggers are working. I'm having issues with the trigger working at the pallet storage when you manually drop them off. Oh, come on, don't go inside of the barn where I can't get you. I want to go manually move a couple boxes real quick. But it's going to be, it's so nice to know that the Pallet Warehouse will act as a distribution center. I want to see if the warehouse trigger's been... Dixie had no problems with it. I was having problems with the trigger accepting pallets. Can I get 2 on here? Not that high, I can't. Oh, but I'm under the pallet. That's pretty funny. Let's get inside the pallet. There we go. Can I hook 2? No, let's just go with the 1. I was having trouble getting the trigger to accept any pallets. When you lift them up in the air, they were fine. If you drop them on the ground, let's say I brought an auto-load trailer over and I dropped them on the ground, it wasn't accepting the pallets. I want to set this down and push it in. And if you lift it up off the ground, it takes it. But I just want to manually push this in to see if it's going to accept it. Oh, it will. Okay. I couldn't get it to work earlier. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all these pallets pushed back in. I'm going to change everything from... Yeah, see, this is going to be a pain in the ass right there if this isn't set up properly. Let's change. Okay, so let's activate every one of them. I'm going to change every one of them to distributing so they don't spawn back out. Then I'm going to turn super strength on and we're going to throw all these pallets back in. And hopefully they don't spawn back out. So this pallet warehouse may be a work in progress till I get the scripting sorted out. And let's change every one of them to sorry, I had my mic muted, so I'm having this terrible coughing. So I'm going to leave gold on sell just in case it comes in. Now, if I throw all these back into trigger, are they going to spawn back out? Now, the problem with super strength is I've got to hold Alt down to use it. I don't want these to spawn back out. I want them to stay in the warehouse. Problem is, I don't know if it's going to work. Now that I change it all to distribute instead of store, I'm hoping they don't come back out. Alright, so you're going to have to be on your... Alright, so you were stuck on another pallet. Let's see if that does it. I just don't want them to pop back out. So whatever this is, it's glitched. There we go. Maybe that'll do it. Let's get this pushed in the trigger. I'm hoping these don't pop back out. So don't change. So when you put your warehouse down, don't put it on storing. Put it on either selling or distributing. And then you won't have this mess to clean up like I did. So learn by my mistake. Guess we can come over here with the tractor and try and push them all in. So why aren't you taking the nails? Shouldn't be full. I can up the quantity. The real test is, are these going to pop back out, or are they going to stay in the warehouse? I don't know why it's not taking that nail box. Oh, it took it that time. Now I'm getting like Dixie throwing the pallets around. I'm picking up picking up the Dixie method. Dixie method of distributing pallets. Oh, come on, stop moving. My joystick's messed up. Alright, if you turn it to store, it's going to pop the pallets back out. If you leave it on distributing or selling, it's going to keep them inside the warehouse, it looks like. Yeah, right on the pallet fork. I couldn't have done that if I tried. Oh, come on, stop moving. I don't know why it lifts the player up in the air like that. Alright, 2 more it looks like. Next thing I'll be jumping off the hills and the mountains. Probably. Yeah, so don't put this on storing, because it's going to pop every one of them back out. Now let me turn super strength off. Oh, hold on. I thought I just turned it off. Disabled. Okay. Oh, so it's stuck on the forks now. So yeah, make sure it's on either sell or distribute. Don't put it on store, or it's going to pop all of your pallets back out. Alright, I got 2 more pallets over here I want to clean up. And then we'll go harvest the new crop, make sure the new crops are working properly. I'm under the pallet again. Let's get that last one off the map. So it's really nice that all the production chain is going to work with distributing. So if you don't like hauling pallets around, this seems like it's going to work. If you leave it on storing, it's going to fill up your pallet spawner. Now what I could do is I could take the pallet spawner and make it small enough where it only could fit 1 pallet on it. So yeah, it looks like it's going to hold everything now and not spawn it back out. So we have 68,000, I'm curious now, so we have 68,000 liters of drill pipe in here. Does any of our oil wells need drill pipe? Now I'm curious to see if it's going to distribute it from the warehouse. See, you're not full of drill pipe, so why is it not putting it over here? See if is the number going down or is the number going up? 4460, 4453, it's going down. So is it not going to move the drill pipe from the warehouse to the factory? Met K, they only distribute on the hour. Okay. So we need to give it an hour and see if it moves it from the warehouse to the factory. So we'll give it some time. We'll come back and check on it. Plenty of crude oil. Making diesel. Making plastic. So we'll see what happens at the top. We'll come back at the top of the hour and check on these. So you should be getting plastic and making sacks. You are. Alright, let's give it some time. I'll come back and check on it. Let's head back to the farm and harvest our new crops. Make sure they work. Do I know when I plan on releasing this map? If testing goes well today, tomorrow. Oh, there's one more pallet there. That's right. I'll get it later. If testing goes well tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to get it to my Patreon members this weekend. Not sure what day. And then the Patreon members will have it for a week, and then it'll go public. My Patreon supporters have been... I think I've had Patreon now for over a year, so my Patreon members are awesome. So as long as they keep supporting me, they get everything first for a week. So I want to get the rest of my scattered equipment back here. So let's get this guy back home. This guy can stay there. Let's get this guy back home. Actually, he can stay there. Alright, let's go test our new crops. We planted rye and rice, so let's go test those. And then after we test those two, we'll replant with the other two new crops. Before I start harvesting this, where is our other field? Our other field is not in the next growth stage yet. Let's harvest this first, and then we'll worry about the next crop. Enable straw swath. I'm going to start this and then hire a worker. So this is rye. Alright, we're getting straw, so that's a good thing. Let it do its thing. So the rye, we'll check on the rye. Rice. Still growing, plus 98% yield bonus. Not quite ready to harvest. Alright, let's grab a loading wagon. I don't have a loading wagon. Are you a slow tractor, or you're the slower tractor? Where's the other quicker tractor? You're the quicker tractor. Let's drop this guy off. Let's drop this guy off. Oh, I had a header and bought another one. That's all good. This is turning into be my test map anyway. So let's buy ourselves the loading wagon. That one. This one. Yeah, this one. Cover no, silage additive no. Oh, can you not up the capacity? Wheel branch setup cover silage. Can't change the capacity on this one. You're a regular tipper. You're a regular tipper. That the only loading wagon I have? I haven't played enough to sort out my mods yet. Nothing modded there. Lots of great mods Papa and the group has made. Yeah, definitely. That one's just a... This one has... That's just that one. So I guess that's the only loading wagon. That one seems to be a tipper. This one seems to be a tipper. This one seems to be the only loading wagon. But I don't see a... Oh, here it is. Okay. Silage tank additive. So I want number 5, no, and that's going to give me the better capacity. Okay. I got it sorted out now. I did increase the amount of straw and grass over the base game. So you're going to get more on this map than the standard maps. Oh, I like the speed of this one. If I can drive straight. I definitely like the speed of this trailer. It just blows through those big piles on the end. So I think I have almost every factory running except for a few mines. Which is really nice. Alright, since we did rye and rice, so after I'm going to replant with, what are my other two new fill types? I can never remember. We're going to plant millet and carrot next to test those two new crops. What is this field going to need? Nothing, so we can go get our seeder. So while we're waiting for the harvester to catch up, let's grab, that's the slower tractor, this is the quicker tractor. Let's get this guy back to the house and get our seeder ready. Dixie, since I made a few changes to the Pallet Warehouse, I'll get that to you as soon as I'm done streaming. I'll get you the updated one. And I'll get you the map update. I don't think there's anything else I have to fix. Let's grab the seeder. Alright, now which one is millet? I don't know the symbols yet. Millet's the one that's got the couple little leaves and the droopy thing. This one. Let's get millet planted so we can test millet. But I need to do a U-turn because it's hard to get this thing across the bridge. It barely fits on the covered bridge. You got to go in pretty straight. The placeables with the placeables with the sawdust. They're built into the map. Yeah, the physical placeables are only the seed maker, the fertilizer maker, and the grass dryer. They're the only external mods. Everything else is built into the map. So Mammoth Mill is built into the map, so when you get to update, it has the sawdust. The carpentry mill, I didn't change, and the composter is built into the map. That's not an external mod, I don't think. Alright, so you're going to plant and mill it. I'm going to hold off till this whole field is done. Yeah, the only external mod I need to send is the new Pallet Warehouse. Everything else I've changed is built into the map. Matt K. I was talking to Dixie. Let me get out of this guy's way. Alright, so while we're waiting for him, am I missing anything? So let's come back into here. So under silos, you have the grain silo, placeable. That's been tested and it works. You have liquid storage. That's been tested and it works. So under production, the fertilizer factory will be an external mod, part of mod pack 1. The grass dryer will be an external mod, part of mod pack 1. The pallet storage will be an external mod in mod pack 1. The Seedmaster will be external mod pack 1. Mammoth Mill is built into the map. Oil wells built into the map. The refinery is built into the map. The ice house is built into the map. Stone pit is built into the map. Stone processing is built into the map. Wash plant is built into the map. Composter is built into the map, and the carpentry hall is built into the map. So yeah, so everything else you should have, except for the pallet warehouse. And then tonight I'm going to start working on water distribution. So I'll add hydrogen to the refinery. And then we'll make a factory produce an oxygen. Or I'll take an existing factory and have it produce oxygen. Maybe the carpentry mill. And then we'll make a separate mod just for water. So we'll take the hydrogen and the oxygen, combine it together, and we'll make water. and it will take the water and have it automatically distribute to all of the factories that needs water. So I'll try and use a lot of the existing factories so we don't have that many more placeables to put down. Alright, he can sit there a minute. Let's grab our loading wagon so we can unload the harvester. Oh, let me turn that on. Alright, let's get pipe out. Oh, come on, stupid Xbox One control. Alright, we didn't get much, but that's a small field. Let's get this guy out of our way. Get him ready to harvest the rice. Let's get this guy out of the way. And then let's plant the other new crop. So we are planting, where's my menu? I can't remember. We're planting the millet. We're going to try and have the DB120 in Mod Pack 1 along with the snowblower. And an MAN truck pack as well. So you'll get a few mods with the map, but not many. I think only 3. Eventually, once I start playing my realistic game, I'm going to merge these two fields together. Alright, so we should have millet. Jump out of the tractor, we'll check the field status. Alright, we have millet. Needs rolling. I'm not going to worry about the rolling because this is only my test map. I just want to make sure the crops work. You are still growing, so let's hit the backspace button one more time so the grow now mod goes to the next growth stage. And we'll test rice and plant carrot. So did you go to the next growth stage? You are ready to harvest. So let's throw the harvester on. Where's the harvester parked? Over here. He's empty. Alright, let me hire a worker. Let it start harvesting the rice. Let's take... What do we have in here? Let's take the straw over to the composter. Oh, I just missed a trigger. There we go. So we'll get this turned into compost. We have enough compost for the Earthworm Factory. And so what do we have going on? You are wood chips. Let's just activate all of them. And then we'll tell it to distribute. Perfect. Now, does the seed factory take rye? Wheat. It does take rye. So let's bring the rye over here and turn it into seeds. Loading wagon we're not going to need. Let's get that back to the farm. let's just go grab the other tractor with the rye. If I don't run into the water, I didn't go across the second bridge. Old man, watch where you're going. Alright, let's grab the rye. What do we get off that little field? Only 42,000 liters. So I'm going to do, but we're going to go to the silo first. I want to make sure the particle effects are working. And then we'll take it to the seed factory. I want to make sure the unload particle effects are working and the pipe effect particles are working. So let's dump it in the silo. And am I getting a dump animation? I am. So that's working. You know, am I getting a pipe animation? It's got wood chips in it. Why does this have wood chips in it? I didn't put any wood chips in here. Are all the silos in the entire map tied together? That's interesting because I didn't put any wood chips in here. Is it picking up the wood chips from the mill? We're going to come back and look at that. It may be picking up the wood, so our silos may be tied into the factory. That's going to be a problem in multiplayer. Let's go back and look at those wood chips. Oh, hold on. I don't know if I activated that. You know what? Let's just go the sassy one method and activate them all just to be done with it. Now I want an activate all button. And then let's leave them all on, let's leave the seeds on storing. Let's go, now I'm curious to know why I have wood chips in the silo and I didn't put any there. I think I put the wood chips in yesterday. Oh, you're right, I did put the wood chips in there yesterday to make sure that the silo was working. I completely forgot about that. Let's throw them in the composter. Yeah, I told you my short-term memory is getting worse. Yeah, let's throw these in the composter. As soon as I test these 2 new crops, I think I'm literally done with testing. I don't think I have anything else more to test. I've tested every factory that's already built. Now, eventually we're going to take like the in-game dairy and we're going to modify it, add more products to it. We're going to take the in-game bakery, we're going to modify it, add more products to it. So every single in-game factory will eventually be modified and added to. So you're going to have to use the base game factories for now, but you will get a modded one down the road. I'm going to throw half of them in here. I'm going to throw the rest in the mill. Now, because our poplar field's almost ready to harvest, I'm just going to dump them all in here. This is my test maps. I don't think I need to run the mill for anything else. I think it's been tested enough where I can call it working without any issues. Now, the other thing that comes to mind is, you know how our new pallet warehouse will automatically distribute the product to the next factory that needs it? Right now, the silo is only acting as a silo, so product in, product out manually. I can take and build a warehouse. I won't call it a silo, I'll call it a bulk storage warehouse that acts like a factory. So if you dump your rice in it and put it on distribute, it'll automatically go to the next factory. So we won't even have to move bulk product around if we don't want to. Let me know if you would like to see something like that in the future down the road. So we could take and make a bulk warehouse that acts as a distribution center for all of the bulk products and all of the liquids. So all you have to do is harvest your wheat, throw it in the bulk warehouse, turn it on distribute, and then any factory that needs it, it'll take it. So let me know if you would like to see something like that down the road, now that the pallet warehouse is working properly. I can use the same concept. When the modded ones are ready, we will have to replace the in-game ones, yes. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see a distribution center for bulk goods and liquids. Let's change you to carrot. Cherokee 058, yes. Alright, let me put it on. I'll get it on the to-do list. It may not be till update 1, but I'll get it on the to-do list. Alright, I don't want to plant these until this harvester is completely done with this field. I honestly, y'all, other than testing the 2 new crops, I don't think there's anything else to test. I think we're about golden. Let me just look at my map real quick. So we know that fishing is completely working, so I don't have to mess with any of this. So all the fishing spots are working, the Earthworm Factory is working, fish processing plant is working. We've not tested the BGA, so I might want to test the BGA. I've tested the coal mines running, the ore mines running, the silt mine is running. So those 3 factories are good. We have to, if those 3 factories are good, these 3 will work because they're identical. so I won't need to test those. Sand should work. Yeah, I think the only thing left to test is the BGA. Alright, so let's do this. Let's grab, since this is my test map, let's grab the mower. Throw the bigger engine in it. And then let me buy the piece of land over here by the farm so we can cut the grass. And while we're waiting for our rice to finish harvesting, let's get some grass for the BGA. And we'll check the BGA. And I think that's it. I think I'm pretty much going to call testing done. Let's change this to, I don't want the map, but let's change this to, how do I change the work mode? Left, swath dropping, that's the one I want. Let's get some grass. Just production times need to be worked on. Yeah, we have to balance out the production times. The scripting is much different than 22 than it is from what it was from 19. I don't have a complete handle on the production times yet. So they may be adjusted. So even if you get the map and we have to balance out production, it'll be balanced out on update 1. Yeah, we've not tested anything multiplayer. I'm not going to get a ton of grass, but I want enough to test the bunker silos. So I'll probably just mow a couple rows. But what we will do is let me get the BGA. We'll test the BGA, and then I'll buy the other mines. We'll get them running just to make sure there's no issues. And Dixie, did you test all the mines? Let me know, and this way I won't have to test them. Oh, maybe she didn't hear me. All right. If she didn't test the mines, I'll jump in and we'll test the rest of the mines. I don't anticipate any problems with them. Or you know what? We'll wait till tomorrow. I'll try and get hydrogen, oxygen, and water. Yes, I did inputs only, not outputs yet. Okay. I'm not going to worry about testing the mines. Dixie will finish testing them. I'd rather spend time working on water distribution. I'd like to get that released with Mod Pack 1. Well, I'm going to build... Let me think about this while I'm mowing the grass. I'm going to build... We'll build hydrogen into the refinery. We need to make either... We'll call it oxygen or compressed air. I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to throw that into... what factory do we want to throw that in? We could probably do both at the refinery. We'll do hydrogen at the refinery. We'll do... I guess we'll call it condensed air. I got to be careful because air is built into the map, and I don't want to use the word air. I'll probably just call it oxygen. And we'll probably do both of them at the refinery. And then I'll make a separate factory. We'll add the hydrogen and oxygen together to make water. Do I want to use an existing factory? Probably, so we'll have less factories to put down. So I don't want... Oh, the ice house. Awesome. We could take the ice house and we can add... No, I can't, because if we have water as an input, I can't use water as an output and water as an input. I need to find a factory that's not using water and as an input and make water as an output. The oil well takes water, so I can't use the oil well. So what existing factory can make water and distribute it? So what do we have in the way of silos? Okay, we can't use the silos. Let's go into production. Fertilizer factory, grass dryer, seed master, Mammoth Mill, oil. We can't use the oil well, can't use the refinery, can't use the ice house. I can't use the stone pit. Composter's not using water. I can add water to the composter or the carpentry hall. Where do I want to add water? You know what? I'll build liquid distribution, and we'll put it right into liquid distribution, and we'll test it that way. So we'll test it in the bulk and liquid distribution and see if it works that way. And it won't take up a separate factory. That'll be one less factory we have to put down. Carpentry. I think I'm going to build it. I'll add it to the carpentry. And then tomorrow we can update the refinery and the carpentry for the new fill types and see if the water distribution works. Alright, so our harvester is done. So let's get the header off. Alright, so we have rice. Where's my loading wagon? So I want to test the particle effects. Let's make sure these particle effects are working. Which one are you? You're the loading wagon. I don't want you. Yeah, you'll work. Jump back in here. So make sure we have an unload effect and a pipe effect at the silo. Alright, unload effects working. See if the pipe effect's going to work. Come on, close your lid. Alright, rice. Alright, pipe effects are working. Alright, particles, so rice and rye are good. So let's take this guy over to the seed maker as well. Uh-oh, looks like I'm having Wi-Fi issues because my chat has disconnected itself. See if my yeah, my chat, I'm having issues with chat, y'all. It keeps disconnecting itself from the Wi-Fi, it looks like. Alright, so we should have plenty of seeds now, but again, this is my test map. So it's not really going to matter. Rice. Oh, you know what? We don't have, we have to move. You know what? Let me go over here. I know we're storing it, but I'm going to just tell it to distribute it. And I'm not going to worry, because I'm not going to fertilize the fields on this map. So that should send the fertilizer over here. We'll come back and check on it. So that should send the fertilizer over here to turn it into seeds. Let's get our carrots planted. harvested. Does this field need anything? Harvested. Doesn't need fertilizer. Doesn't need... Oh, hold on. Wrong screen. Nope. Ready to just plant. Alright, let's grab this guy. And we'll get carrots in here. Now, we also need to figure out if we have permission to share the harvester and the header yet for carrots. Dixie sent me one, but I don't know if we have permission to share it. So there was a modded. Let me finish seeding this, and I'll show you what we have so far to harvest carrots with. But Dixie's going to have to find out if we have permission to share it. Still in testing. Because there's nothing in game right now that will harvest carrot. So you're going to need a mod for carrot.